Alright, I'm going to talk about chords, and I don't talk about chords enough, although they're my bread and butter. All this other bum-diddy and bump-a-diddy stuff, that's the sugar, right? That's just the candy that you put on top of the music, right? That's just to enhance the melody, right? But underneath that, that was just a G chord because I'm tuned to open G, and when I do that, I get a free chord. Everything's in G. And if you want to just strum a basic chord and not think about all that frilly stuff right now, I recommend it. Take your middle finger like a guitar pick and just strum down on the bottom 4 strings. We'll start easy here. So that's a G, then that's a C. And that's on the 5th fret. I just took one finger and I pressed it down over the bottom 4 strings. I did it right. Not too hard, just enough so that it presses over that little fret. And then if I slide it up a whole step here, that's your 7th fret. That's a D. And already that covers most folk songs, bluegrass songs, country songs, a lot of rock songs. In fact, I'm just going to do some basic frailing over that just to show you how you can do a song with just those chords. So, I mean, it sounded like a pretty song there, and I was just doing my drop thumb exercises to create this simulation of a melody that over the chord shapes. And if you play your music off of the chord shapes, you don't have to do as much work to play a melody off of that. The melody always fits within the chord shapes. So now there's other ways to do the C. This is, in fact, the most common way for me to do the C. And a D would be like that. So a C would be, I just take that ring finger, put it on the 1st string, 2nd fret. Pointer finger goes on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Middle finger goes on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And once again, just treat your middle finger like a guitar pick. And just practice strumming to the beat, because the beat is the most important part, the rhythm of a song. You never want to leave the rhythm. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And if you're just beginning, just don't play anything more complicated than that simple strum every 4 beats. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Because what you want to get used to is switching between the chords. You want to be able to reflexively just, someone says, go to C, go to D, go to G, do an F, throw a B minor in, throw a C and a D. The only way you get there is through muscle memory and just practicing. I mean, you download the chord charts and you look it up and you go, okay, I know the shape of this C chord. Now I'm going to look up the shape of a D chord, right? So a full D chord, those are kind of hard. I actually do the easy D chords, and I'll show you that in a second. But first, a full D chord, you're going to take your pinky finger and you're going to put it on the 1st string, middle finger, 1st string, 4th fret. Your middle finger is going to be on the second string, 3rd fret. Your pointer finger is going to be on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then your ring finger is going to be on the 4th string, 4th fret. Hopefully I said that right, but just in case, I'm going to show that to you. Now that's a little difficult, but it's useful at times. But what I usually do is I cheat, and I take this ring finger and I just put it down here. And it's just a straight line, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row, right? So that ring finger is now the fourth fret on the 1st string. And the reason that works is because you've got this fourth string is tuned to D, and if you're doing a D chord, well, guess what? That D chord has a D note in it. Here's how it sounds a little different. Very, very similar. In fact, if you really want to cheat, you can do a two-finger version of that D chord. And that's kind of like a power chord. It only has the first and fifth note in that D. That's why they call it, I think, a fifth chord or a power chord. But those fit really nicely in a song. Most of the time no one hears those extra notes. So if you're trying to play really quick or that D chord is hard to play, just do the two-finger version, and it's just the same two positions. That middle finger is on the second string, third fret, and the pointer finger is on the third string, second fret, right? So you've got 4 different ways to play the D chord. 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers, don't forget 1 finger. And there's actually more positions up the neck. Once you get the hang of this, you're going to know how to look up all the other different chords. Now I'm going to do another favorite chord that I like to play is E minor. E minor is very easy. It's only 2 chords. And you know what? A whole lot of songs, a lot of the sad songs or soulful songs, or sad's kind of probably not the right word for it, but E minor is great. It's in this case, you're going to take your ring finger on the first string, second fret, and you're going to take your middle finger on the fourth string, second fret. Remember, the fourth and first strings are actually tuned to the same note, just an octave difference. So it's tuned to high D, middle D, right? So when I do this, just strum it. Sounds very soulful. Plays really well with that G. You can go back to the C, D, then the E minor. And then remember, with all these chords, you can also do little hammer-ons and pull-offs with the fingers that you've got free. For example, I'm in that E minor, I can take this middle finger and just and I should do another lesson to talk about playing melodies off of the chords. But right now, just focus on the chords themselves. I guess I was giving you a sneak peek at some of the cool stuff you can do. E minor, C, D, G, E minor, C, D, B minor. So that B minor, that's also in the key of G, and that really gives you a nice sense of tension. And that's just taking your pinky finger, put it on the first string, 4th fret, take that pointer finger and put it on the second string, 3rd fret, ring finger goes on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and the middle finger goes on the 4th string, 4th fret. Now if you can do that, you get another one for free. You just slide it down 2 steps, and that's an A minor. So you got your A minor, same position, except everything slide down. So again, your pinky fingers on the 1st string, 2nd fret, pointer fingers on the 2nd string, 1st fret, your ring fingers on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your middle fingers on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And of course you got your C up here, and your D up here, and then you can do your G. Now there's another chord I'm going to throw at you here. You got your F-shaped chord. This one everybody hates, but I think it doesn't get enough love because there's a lot you can do with that. Now an F shape is, remember when I showed you that D chord, how it kind of had that little diagonal of the bottom 3 strings? it's sort of upside down version of that. You're just flipping these two fingers and then you're going over here. So what are those notes? You got your pinky finger on the first string, 3rd fret, your pointer fingers on the 2nd string, 1st fret, your middle fingers on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your ring fingers on the 4th string, 3rd fret. And if you get that one figured out, what's really cool to do, something I like to do, is slide it up a whole step. A whole step would be 2 frets, because 1 fret is a half step. And if you do that shape right here, where your pinky finger's on the 5th fret, that's a G, which is the same as... Now I'm not going to show you all the places you can play those chords, and there are many other different kinds of chords. For example, you've got your E major, which is different than your E minor. You've got your A major, which is different than your A minor. But again, download a chord chart and start learning it. You're going to realize there's actually only a limited number of chord shapes, and if you take those chord shapes and you slide it up, you actually get all the different chords with the same shape in the scale. For example, open G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Now what are the ones I skipped? We had G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, and so on. There's only 12 notes in a chromatic scale, right? So there's going to be a chord for every note, and those chords can be major or minor. So we were just doing we were just doing a major, but the minor version of that is, remember, once again, I'll show you that shape. So I'll just show it here because we went over it earlier. So it's pinky finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, pointer finger on that 2nd string, 1st fret, ring finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and the middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Now once again, you can slide that up to the B. So you have your pinky finger on the 4th fret there. Slide it up a half step. That's a C minor. Slide it up. That's a D minor. Slide it up a whole step from there, that's an E minor, and so on. I think you're getting the idea. So there's a few shapes, right? You got your Fs, G, A, B, and so on. Or, sorry, B would be here. C, D, and then you've got your D shape. D, E, F, G. You got your E minor. But if I take that and I put it up here, well, here's where it gets tricky. I was only using 2 fingers on that E minor, so if I wanted to play an F minor, I would want to take my finger and bar it. This is a little harder. And take my pinky finger and put it on the 1st string, now 4th fret, but think of it as the 2nd fret away from my bar, and take my my ring finger and put it on the 4th string, on 4th string, 4th fret. So that's when the chords start to get a little hard, right? But for example, if I play it right here, that's an A minor. Now, don't be intimidated by that. That's just a little bit of exercise. And frankly, if it's too hard to do, there's always an easier way to play the chord. If this A minor is too hard to play, just play it down here. If this E minor is too hard, just play it right here. If this G is too hard, just play it here. Because really, nobody's really going to know. As long as you're in key and you're jamming along. Now, I think I'll do another video and talk about playing all the dynamics off of the chords, and so you can do more than just your basic bum ditty, because Because if you're new to playing banjo, this basic frailing strum is really easy, and then you can play with those chords. C, D, and at that point you can just sing along. So digest that, download a chord chart, and start trying it out. Hope that helps.